the children's book. It's called David. You spend years in prison. If you get shot down, so what? Nothing happens. Read.
To turn aside the needy from judgment.
To turn aside the needy from judgment. So the laws that passed is like a one set of laws for the so-called white man, one set of laws for the so-called black man and the brown man. To turn aside the needy from judgment. We are the needy. Only stop us to get justice. There's no judgment. Read.
And to take away the right from the poor of my people.
And to take away the right. See all those things you see what's going on in society is documented in the Bible. And they were what? They were prophesied years ago, hundreds of years ago, that they were taking place on the earth from that time then up until now. And there's not new under the sun. All those oppression that was going on from back then still going on right now. To take away the poor, the right for the poor of the Most High's people. Read.
That widows may be their prey.
That widows may be their prey. That's why widows may be their prey. That's why they pass laws to bring about division in our household. That's why most of our household is run by what? Single mothers. What they do? They kill the fathers. They incarcerate the fathers. Understand how they give a young man what? Prison record so they can't get jobs, so they can't provide for the family. So it's hard for them to maintain a family. So the household consists of single women who they can oppress.
That's right.
That's all those things that are documented in the Bible. That's how you know we're the shadow of a doubt. We're the ones going through these things. So that's how you know we're the shadow of a doubt when we read about the Israelites in this Bible, reading about our people. That's that's talking about you. That's your true identity, the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of the tribe of Judah, so-called African American. Read on.
That they may rob the fatherless.
That they may rob, see that? They put emphasis on that they may rob the what? The fatherless. Because when the father is supposed to be the protector of the household. But when there ain't no father in the household, they can easily prey on that family, the fatherless, the child. They can abuse a child. Put a young man in, shut him down in the streets, put him in prison, give him a criminal record, instead of a college education. So what? So he's growing up as a man, he's struggling. He can't provide for himself. And he may possibly turn to crime, then he ends up in prison or dead. So all those things are things that they conjure up and pass legislation to legally do those things to oppress our people. But the Most High said what? All those things are coming to an end. Right?
And what will ye do in the day of visitation?
And what are they going to do when the Most High visit them for all those atrocious things that they did to the Most High's people? What are they going to do?
Bring it out.
What's going to be the defense? Read.
And in the desolation which shall come from far, to whom will ye flee for help?
Right. Because this place, America, is supposed to be the richest country in this world, the greatest country in this world. It's going to be desolate, man. But this place, there's not going to be a brick stand upon another. This place is going to come to total ruin. It's going to be the habitation of foul spirits. Because this place is going to be destroyed, man. And all the inhabitants of Iraq are going to be destroyed. Even if our people, if they don't come back to their nationality, their heritage, and start keeping the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's why we are here in this, in our neighborhood, reaching out to our people. The so-called Negroes, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Ricans, Native Indians. Let you know who you are, that you are the people of this Bible, man. And then the Most High is reaching out to you. He sent his son Yahushua to die for you, to what? To bridge the gap that was between us and the Most High, to reconcile it back to the Most High, back into the fold. Understand? So when this desolation and destruction come upon this land, you're not going to be a part of that. You're going to be on the protected side. Read.
And where will ye leave your glory?
And where will they leave the glory? The boast of their military might, the boast of their economic power, the boast of the political power. What are they going to do with all that? In the time of visitation, when the Mashiach Yahushua and the mighty angels come back to bring judgment on this land.
That's right.
How are those things going to help them? Read.
Without me, they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain.
Right. So without the Mashiach Yahushua, we're gonna bow down on the read the precept here.
Without me, they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this is his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still.
Right. But even with that, the Most High's anger, Yahushua's anger, you know what I mean, is stretched out still. Read.
O Syrian, the rod of my anger.
Go back to Lamentation. Lamentation 4:22. The punishment of the Most High's iniquity, the punishment of our iniquity is accomplished. The Most High are forgiving us as a nation, but individually, we have to acknowledge our transgression and ask for forgiveness. Understand? To be on the side that's going to be protected when the desolation come upon this land. Because the Most High is about to visit this place, is about to visit the iniquity of Edom and the other nations for all the abominations that are committed on this earth.
That's right.
Read.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4:22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion.
Read.
He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
No more captivity for our people. Read.
He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom.
He's going to visit the iniquity of daughter of Edom, the so-called white man. Read.
He will discover thy sins.
It will discover their sins. All the sins that we have committed right now that they're getting away with, that seems like it's normal. They're talking about that, oh, it's the 21st century. It's okay for man to live with man. It's okay for a woman to go with woman. It's okay for a child to have two daddies. It's okay for a child to have two mommies. All those are sins, laws which they pass in their legislation to make legal, or to normalize those things which we know are abominable. And no one can hold them accountable because what? They have turned things upside down and they have made those things legal. But the Most High said what? He's going to visit those things, visit those sins. Read. Now give me Isaiah 61 or 60. Let me see, Isaiah 60 verse 1. Let me see what 60 is. Give me 61. Yeah, give me 61. Isaiah 61 verse 1.
The book of Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 1. The Spirit of the Most High is upon me.
Right, we're hearing the Spirit of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. To what? To do what?
Because the Most High hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
The Most High hath anointed us to preach good tidings. What's the good tidings, man? Good, not tithe, tidings. T-I-D-I-N-G-S, tidings. Good news. Bring good news. What's the good news? I like what people say. What's good, brother? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? What's good? I don't want any bad news. What's good? You know what I'm saying? What's the positive about things that's going on? What's good? You're the Hebrew Israelite. You acknowledge that. You know that. What's even better? For you to keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, and believe in the Mashiach Yahushua, who the word called Jesus Christ. Understand? That's your salvation right there. Understand? That's your protection right there. That's our shield of protection right there in the day of tribulation. When the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua start visiting the iniquity of Edom and the other nations. That's the good news, read.
He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted.
He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted. Who's brokenhearted? Our people brokenhearted, man. They look around, things look so bleak. Things look so, desperate, so dire. We see all the other people, all the other nations ruling. We see them, we see our people struggling. All we can think about is slavery. All we can think about is being confined to gutters and slums. Hardship. We see our people being locked up, shot down in the streets. We're brokenhearted. And no matter what we try, it's not to no avail. But what? We're here to what? Give you the good tidings, man, and saying, yeah, hey, all those things are only temporary. Better things are going to come if you come back to a heritage and keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments and believe in the Mashiach Yahushua.
That's right.
Read.
Get out.
And the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
And the opening of the prisons to them that are bound. And we're not just talking about the physical prison. And that's one form of imprisonment that our people are experiencing. Being confined to the actual prison houses, because the majority of the prisoners in all over America, because America is the most people in captivity, most people in prison of all countries in this earth. And the highest percentage of any race or any group is our people, so-called blacks, so-called Latinos. Even though so-called white men commit more crimes than we do. What? They're a protected class because they're ruling. So they want to read our precept again.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 1. The Spirit of the Most High is upon me, because the Most High hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
Right?
He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted.
The Most High sent us to bind up the brokenhearted. The brokenhearted, our people who are catching hell, who are doing everything possible to alleviate themselves from the condition that they're in, but they can't do it. The reason they can't do it because what? They're relying on their own ability. What is not good enough to overcome what's against you in the society. We need the Most High, we need the Mashiach Yahushua to give us extra strength, extra pull to overcome the tribulation that we're in under these other nations. Read.
To proclaim liberty to the captives.
To proclaim liberty to the captives. The imprisonment that we are in also is what? Philosophies, the doctrines, the religions. All those things are holding us captive. There's a lot of our people, man, no matter how much we show them in this Bible, that the Hebrew Israelites are the chosen people of the Most High. They are so indoctrinated with the religion of the so-called white man and this Christianity and this white Jesus. We show them that Christ is a so-called black man. They don't want to hear it. We tell them that the so-called Negroes are the real Jews. They don't want to hear it. All those things are imprisonment. All those things are imprisonment, holding them captive, man, to an incarceration that what? They're not going to be released from unless they come back to this word. That's what we're here. We even have a physical prison ministry where brothers weekly we go into the actual prison houses to teach our incarcerated brothers in the prison houses, to let them know who they are, that the Hebrew Israelites, man, that they should keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments and come back to the true heritage, true nationality. And that salvation is for them. Read.
And the opening of the prisons to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High.
To proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High. And the acceptable year of the Most High is every day. The Most High will accept you every day. Once you acknowledge on that day that you have transgressed His laws, statutes, and commandments, and that what? You're going to start keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments, and ask for forgiveness. Read.
And the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn.
On the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. That's where the comfort of people, to let you know what? There's salvation for you. Read.
To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes and the oil of joy for mourning.
To give unto them beauty for ashes and joy for mourning. Read.
The garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness.
Right. That they may be called trees of righteousness. And the trees is talking about symbolic of people. People of righteousness. That's who you're going to be called. Read.
The planting of the Most High, that He might be glorified.
By the planting of the Most High, that He might be glorified. So that's what we're here. Give me Isaiah 40:5. As a matter of fact, give me Romans 9. Give me Romans 9.
Get out!
Romans 9 chapter 1. All the glory of this Bible, man, all the promises, the covenants pertain to the people you see on the sign right here. So-called Negroes, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Ricans, Native Indians.